My name is Bruce. I'm here representing OTP team to give you the latest news and updates. This presentation is going to be two parts. The first part will include community, focus area, release notes, and long-term goals. And after that, I'm going to briefly talk about Erlang Central, the new community site, sponsored by Industry Erlang User Group. Please don't expect any super technical details. I'm mostly going to represent the community side of the OTP team. So, the community, we have improved cooperation, in particular the Industry Erlang User Group. To give you a sense what it is, the Industry Erlang User Group is a consortium of enterprise Erlang users. Together we work towards the goal of securing the future health, commercial success, and the well-being of Erlang programming language outside of Ericsson. And together we're trying to build a communication channel between Ericsson and the open source community and Industry Erlang User Group members. And the goal is to complement Ericsson's work in terms of lots of things like libraries, tool chains, and contributions. And we want to ensure the items that's not on Ericsson's roadmap funded and implemented by, not by Ericsson, but by the members of the Industry Erlang User Group. The current items on the list includes a community manager. That's why I'm here today as well. I am paid 50% by Ericsson and 50% by the Industry Erlang User Group. Half of my time I'm working with pull requests from GitHub and the OTP team internal system infrastructure support, and 50% with community-related tasks. One of the short-term goals we want to achieve is a public issue tracker. It's going to start with replacing the existing Erlang bugs mailing list. The goal is to achieve more visibility over the open source patches. The current status is that we're trying to look at how we can integrate that with the current infrastructure. And also the Erlang package manager. We want to investigate and create an Erlang package manager. And in order to increase the user adoption, we're currently trying to identify the most important use cases and user categories. We are aware of a couple of things, some previous efforts and existing tools. And we want to look at these existing tools and try to solve the problem with the most efficient, resource-saving solution. And also the license change has been making progress. In particular, we're going to change to a Apache public license version 2. It's probably going to start with a parallel between APL version 2 and the current EPL, Erlang public license. And the OTP team is working with sending out a survey to the existing contributors. And the response rate is very important. Then Erlang Central, Industry Erlang User Group is sponsoring a new community site called Erlang Central. Its aim is to complement the existing Erlang.org with useful resources. And finally, OTP team would like to have a network of trust. It means that we want to extend OTP team in terms of receiving open source contributions, and that means instead of OTP team saying yes or no, we're trying to take in trusted persons, organizations, in terms of taking the responsibility for certain applications and reviewing the patches. And OTP team needs your thoughts and proposals on that. The current focus area of OTP team's work has been focused on the system characteristics and different requirements from Ericsson's customers, and the challenges of scalability and distributions has not been everywhere else, but also within Ericsson. So the Ericsson customers are particularly embedded systems, base stations, and cloud systems with typically more than 100 nodes, and as well as the traditional servers. So OTP team is currently looking at these different system characteristics and requirements that they bring to the Erlang runtime systems. They are looking at the performance, scalability, and memory management in order to see where it can fit. Some examples are, for example, in the long term, we want to have the JIT compilation. The short-term goals, probably in OTP 18, is the trackable BIFs, timer improvements in scalable systems. And OTP team is also looking at tracing and profiling in order to find bottlenecks in the first place, which slows things down in systems. The next release is going to be OTP 17.4. It's scheduled to be released on next week, December the 10th. It's going to be a service pack with mainly bug fixes and small improvements. The reason being that OTP 18 is coming soon, and they want to try to keep the main branch as clean as possible. What's interesting to see here is that from 17.3 we start to include property-based test suitcases, property-based tests. We start with protocols like SSH, FTP, and diameters. And OTP team look forward to more contributions in test cases in these areas. And the master branch, the OTP 18, is scheduled to release on June the 10th, 2015. The focus is on the improvement on scalability because there's been a major interest in Ericsson as well. There will be dialyzer improvements in suppressing warnings, the extensions in the map, variable as keys, and big maps as an extension. There will probably be timer functionalities, but it also may come even earlier, depends on how big it is. So in the long run, OTP team is looking at a couple of things. These are not necessarily the things they're working on, but they're currently looking at the possibilities of it. For example, distributions, the heterogeneity of the systems, both in macro level and the micro level. The package manager as well. OTP team is looking at what they can do with the package manager in cooperation with the industrial Erlang user group. We're also looking at better building support in terms of building standards as well. It's also related to splitting the OTP team Git repo. There's been a discussion within the OTP team of having each application have their own Git repo on their own. But it's not going to be, it needs a proper package and dependency management in order to do that. So it's really dependent on the package manager as well. The rest of it is more performance improvements, and we have the platform as a service build pack support. They're looking at providing a language binding of Erlang to Cloud Foundry, for example. That was pretty much it about the news from OTPT. I'm going to briefly introduce Erlang Central, the new community as well, the community site as well. Erlang Central is a community site sponsored by the Industrial Erlang User Group. We went online on 2013, and we've seen progress in the website during these 2 years. We provide jobs, downloads, videos, news, and tutorials, as well as forums. The goal is to complement the existing resources in the community and making it easier for new developers to learn Erlang, to try Erlang, and we're targeting all kinds of levels of Erlang developers. We currently have 3,000 registered users around the world. In November last month, we had around 9,000 unique visitors. The most visitors are coming from the USA, Poland, UK, and Sweden. And we have a good number of traffic from Germany as well as China and India. The most visited sections are downloads, jobs, and videos. If you register on Erlang Central and set your profile to set your location visible, you're going to be seen on this map as well. Everyone is welcome to create a profile. And yes. So, how many people here are recruiting Erlang developers? Good, good. And how many people have posted their jobs on Erlang Central? Oh, there's one hand. Nice. Yeah, so Erlang Central has a job section. We want to make it easier for companies to find Erlang developers, as well as Erlang developers to find Erlang jobs. There has been a long complaint in the community that it's really difficult to find Erlang developers. It's very easy to publish a job. You can do that within a few clicks. We have currently 30 to 40 job postings last month, and increasing by 10 to 15 or so every month. Each job will be advertised on our Twitter and mailing list as well. There's currently 700 people registered for weekly job updates. And you can also get in contact with me, and I'll take care of publishing onto Erlang Central. It's completely free, and we really encourage people to post their job as well. We want to make it easier for people to learn Erlang, to improve their Erlang skills. That's the goal of the tutorial section. We currently have 150 wiki entries and more than 50 of them are Erlang tutorials. And we want to make good tutorials to be easy to be discovered, to have more visibility. And it can also be a good showcase of your high quality blog post, code examples that you're proud of, and how to write a chat server, how do you install Erlang, how do you do different things. It's very easy to add entry as well, and really encourage people in the community to contribute to Erlang Central. And we have this conversation recently about direct traffic from Erlang.org to Erlang Central tutorials as well. And if that happens, there will be more traffic. So please keep contributing, and it's really a great place for putting up your blog posts and everything else. So that was it about Erlang Central. You can follow us on Twitter. If you have any suggestions, either to OTP team or to Erlang Central or the Industry Erlang User Group, you can send an email to me, and we'll make sure the message to get through to OTP team. Thank you.
Do we have any questions?
Okay, you mentioned that you want to improve the open source contributions, but in the same time you mentioned using the property testing, which is implemented by commercial tool, commercial quick check. How you want to solve that? How open source contributors will have access to it?
Yes, that's a good question. I can bring it on to the OTP team. They started to use property-based testing in protocols, SSH and FTP, and I think particularly they're using quick check. And if you're using quick check, you're of course welcome to contribute. And
but not everybody have $10,000 license for it, right?
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's on proper, if they're actually using proper or quick check mini. So you've got a free quick check version, and proper is completely free and open source as well. So
yeah, I think quick check has a.
Suspected is using it's compatible with both proper and quick check.
Yes, so quick check has a free version for open source project as well. I think it's called Quick Check CI, continuous integration, and Quick Check has a community as well, and they're welcoming people to have a free license to check it as well. But the details you have to go to Quick Check and see.
Okay. All right, thank you.
So a few closing remarks. Let's thank our speakers and Andrea and Monica from Erlang Solutions that organized all of this stuff. Thank you very much.